Opatron! Welcome! We're just talking about the Aeneid. All right, here we go. So what I was saying was, for so many people in the Iliad and in the Odyssey, all the hatred for what happened in the destruction of Troy is funneled into what happened with Helen. Like, that's the thing. It's Paris and Helen's fault. Paris and Helen's fault. Their lust, their desire, their theft, the seizing, all that kind of stuff. And so this thing that he says right there, what Virgil does so well right there is he says the common hatred, the common fury of Troy and her fatherland. She had hidden herself and was sitting hated on the altars. And he uses that word hate, fury. He uses it so many times just to really overemphasize his point there in the Latin. And what does Aeneas want to do?
Kill her.
He wants to kill her. But take that in mirrorship with what Achilles' son did to Priam's family, the kingdom of Troy. Achilles' son was thinking in terms of what Homer preaches in the Iliad and the Odyssey. Achilles' son is going for glory. What do you think is the coolest thing to do to get the most glory at the end of a battle?
Kill the king.
Kill the freaking king, dude. So it made sense for him to kill the king, and not only the king, but even to do more, to wipe out what? His entire bloodline. That's like the kind of stuff that Joshua was told to do. Don't let a single one of them live. Don't let their bloodline carry forward anymore in this land. Eradicate them. And Achilles' son lives up to that. Good job.
You killed a bunch of children.
And you destroyed their altars. That's what Joshua was told to do. Destroy all the altars. It's a heroic thing to do. Good job. And Virgil says, you know what? That's cool and all for epic poetry, but I have a different angle here. And so what he says is that Aeneas sees Helen. He's about to just go and murder Helen. Take out all of Troy's hatred, all the fatherland's hatred out on her. He is like the last real prince, equivocal to Hector. You know, like he kind of has that sort of job that he's taking up for Hector now that Hector's dead. But what did Hector tell him to do? Flee, get out of here, man. And so even now, in this next little bit, this is what happens. All right? Fires burned in my spirit is the last little line here. All right? That's what you guys started with. Right? This is where y'all started? Fires blazed. Aira. Your favorite, Jack. Fires blazed in my soul. All right? Anger approaches. Subit. Anger approaches. Sumera. And Olkiski. Anger approaches to avenge. The cadentem good. Patrium, the falling countryland. Fatherland.
Did you still buy like countrymen?
Yeah, countrymen. That's a great way to translate that. My fallen countrymen. You could even supply the my there.
So anger approaches.
Yeah, anger starts to approach within my spirit. And it has like this, it has this strong reason to it. There's a reasonable action here. You are the reason, Helen. The Greeks came here in the first place. If I kill you, then I will kill the reason that all of my friends died at your countrymen's hands.
Anger approaches.
Yep. Anger approaches to avenge my falling, present active. This is happening right now. My falling country. And to take, sumera means to like pick up. And to take up what? Sceleritas poinas. Wicked punishments. All right? I will take. Yeah, sorry, what?
I was a little confused because here it says exact, and when I Googled it, it said that like sumera could mean like to exact punishment. So is he taking
Nice.
the punishment on himself?
No, he is exacting the punishment on her. The anger, that's a great read into that, dude. He's taking up the role of judge here. Like, he will do the thing that all the Trojans have wanted to do this whole time, is really what he's implying. Which is incredibly dark because, number one, where is she? She's at an altar, dude. You do not do that. Now, who does he see? Who did I tell you he saw? Maybe I'm jumping the gun here from what I've already translated and what I think I've talked about with you guys. But anyway, I'm just going to talk about it anyways. He sees Ulysses while Achilles' son, is killing Priam's family, he sees Ulysses, the main character of the Odyssey, standing guard and making sure that nobody disrupts the murder and looting that's taking place within the altars. All right? Aeneas almost goes in, from what you guys translated last night, he almost goes in to exact this punishment. The sumera sceleritas poinos. He almost goes in to go do that himself. All right? And then this is where you guys pick up, okay? Skiliket. Interesting word here. Certainly. It is certain, literally. But yeah, certainly. That's how they could probably help you out there. Clearly. This illa, this woman, hick hike. This woman is what? Huh? There you go. Safe. Clearly, this woman. Yeah, this safe woman. And then, yeah, will see. Clearly, this safe woman will see Sparta. This is his argument. He's like, this woman, this cause of all this war and all the death and destruction of my friends and my family, she's going to return home safe to Sparta, won't she?
Wait, is it? I thought this whole thing was like a question.
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely got a thing to it.
Isn't it like, so then would it be will? Like she's...
Yeah, he's asking himself, you're right, it is a question, but he's basically saying out loud as a question in his head something that he does not want to happen. So he's basically, this is the argument I'm talking about with the anger that's rising in him. This is the argument he starts to design for himself. He's like, this is going to be such a clear thing for me to do.
He's like justifying.
Thank you. He's justifying. Exactly. He's like, is this woman really going to return home after this is what she's done to mine? That's what he's doing. Yeah. Good job. So is this woman safe really going to see
Sparta,
her country land, Sparta, and the Mycenaean? Good. Very good. And safe in Columbus. Good. So, yeah, lots of interweaving word order in that one. But not only will she see it, but she will go as a queen into... Yeah. Yeah.
And she will go as a queen into the fatherland?
This isn't fatherland. I can see why you would think that. But this is with triumph having been gained. Yeah. So this is actually, and it's got a what'd you say?
She's like honored for it.
Oh, so
True.
she will enter as a queen with triumph having been gained.
Yeah, this word actually comes from the word, the perfect passive participle of it.
As queen with triumph.
Yeah, so partum here is actually, this is interesting. This has a lot of etymological rivers we could go down. This is where it comes from, where a lot of words come from. What word do y'all see in partum? Part. Because what partum actually means is the labor process, the end of labor process, giving birth. That's what partum comes from. It comes from parior, which means it's an opponent, which means to give birth, to bear. So like my wife at December 5th is going to enter in her stage of postpartum. And for a lot of women, that's like one of the worst things ever. Have y'all heard of like the crazy things that can happen postpartum? It's insane. It's one of the things about reality for me that just shows that humans are physical, emotional, and spiritual people. Like there's no way to cut out one of those three. It's just like, have you seen a woman give birth, dude? And just what happens to them afterwards? Some women, dude, just shows the brokenness of the world, and it just breaks my heart for the fact that like sin did this. But some women give birth, and it's such an awful experience that their brain, their mind, and their spirit hate everything about it, including the baby that's born. So one of my sister's best friends had a baby. Her name was Archer, and she couldn't hold her for 3 months. Because every time she looked at the baby, she would have like a panic attack of some kind. And that was her postpartum experience. It's crazy, dude. She just couldn't do it. Some women go into like wild depression. Some women like have some crazy physical things. And so the reason why I'm like this, what did they give you for partum? What did they give you for partum? Bear. There you go. It's that whole sort of thing is like with infilix. It's like he's using all these words that have these deep etymologies of something's giving birth. Like, am I going to allow this to come out? Am I allow her to have triumph having been given birth? Like, is she going to bear that? Is she going to bear triumph? Lots of pregnancy things, lots of like genealogy things, the bloodline of things being cut off or being born or had or not had. And I love it. I love it a lot. So am I going to let her go? Will she go as queen with triumph to be born, that kind of thing? And then we have conjugum, which just means husband and her the home of her father and nato. So there's that, once again, it's that same sort of bloodline conversation. Husband, father, children. All right. Will she see? Will she just get to see them? All of them alive because they're still just back home? So yeah, justifying himself is a great way to put it, man. All right. And then I'm just going to keep on going because we got to hop into the next little bit and y'all translated. So I'm proud of y'all for digging. So yeah, let me know if you need me to slow down.
Wait. It's, will she see? Or like,
yeah, will she see her husband, her father, or her father's house, I should say. Her husband, her father's house, her children. And natos has a pretty widespread, same thing as like nativity. It has a widespread thing of like all her relatives. Will she just get to see them? And then it continues on.
Having been accompanied.
So good, very good. So komitata. And then you have turba, phrygiis. These are both in a certain case. Same with ministries. And then we have iliadum here. So what? Oh, I see what you're saying. They should have helped you out.
I got with a mob of Trojans. Yeah, it's a mob of Trojans.
That's good. That's what it is.
Join with Phrygian attendants.
so
Yeah, and that's it. Having been accompanied.
by a mob of Trojans.
Do you guys understand what that's saying? This whole time, if you guys read the Iliad, which I really hope you do someday,
It's like saying that just like everyone was like waiting on her.
everyone was waiting on her in the castle of Troy the whole 10 years that the Battle of Troy was going on. She was being served by Trojan women, Phrygian women, which is the country, the geographical land called Phrygia, where Troy is. She was served by them for these 10 years. She just going to go home to her whole family after being accompanied, komitata, by attendants, ministries, by attendants of Troy, literally genitive of Troy, or just Phrygian attendants. Turba is the word for mob. It's a wild thing. I mean, dude, is he justified in this? Is he justified?
Oh, yeah.
100%, dude. This makes so much sense for him to kill her, dude. All right? And then he goes and he starts to talk about his own people. Once again, he kind of drew the line there between Sparta to her being taken care of by Trojans, and now he's talking about Troy. Yeah.
Will Priam be
Yeah, will Priam
be killed by
be killed simply by iron? Yeah, with a sword. Troy.
Will Troy have been burned with fire?
Will Troy just will have been, is that really it? Is that the be-all, end-all is really what he's just asking? Is that just where it ends? All right?
Will Troy have been burned by fire?
Yeah, will Troy have been burned in the perfect, Troy have burned, I should say. Active, not been, but have burned with fire. And then Dardanium here, and then Totiens.
Will the Dardanian shore be totally perspired by blood?
Wow, that's a good translation. All right, so same thing with the verb sitting at the middle there. It's just a good.
So many times the Dardanians would be swept over with haste and blasting blood.
I like all y'all's translations. Y'all are doing great. The literal translation is good because y'all are getting the picture. Yeah, what's up?
So doesn't Okido also mean to kill?
It means to kill. So that's exactly right. It means to fall, kill, and die. Because that's why we say it's the opposite word of okido is orior, which means to rise, which is where we get the orient, where the sun rises, and we have the occident, where the sun sets. So it's where the sun dies, falls, goes down.
It's no need to just...
What?
But it can also mean like kill. So there's like is there a passive form of it? Or is
Loaded word. I don't think there is.
Does it just stay?
So I think it's will Priam have died with iron.
Yeah.
That's really how, yeah. Will Troy have burned with fire? And then that's really it. Will so many of the Dardanians, so many just being like the broad collective, that's why this is singular. Will so many of the Dardanians on the shore with blood Sudarit, smeared the shore with blood. And litis looks like that because it's neuter, so it can look like that in the accusative as well. Smeared the.
It's just like no.
Huh?
It's like not this.
It came out. It will not be so. Yeah,
Not so.
not thus. Yeah. It's like, is that really where it's going to end? No. No nita. Good. All right. And this is what he says. For et si. For even. Yeah, very good. Good. All right. For even if there is, est, it's a supplied little thing, no memorable name in the punishment of a woman. For even if there is no memorable name in the punishment of a woman, and victory does not have praise, for even if there is no memorable name in the punishment of a woman, basically saying men don't. What is that saying? Sorry, I didn't even let you guys translate. My bad. I was just trying to go quickly.
Wait, where did you get the not has
Yeah, where did you
praise?
get not?
Versus praising.
So right here, you have nolum. So no, poena est. So literally, there is no memory for the name. There is no name memorable for a woman in punishment. There's no name memorable in the punishment of a woman.
So it's like no one's ever been glorified for killing a woman.
You don't get glorified for overtaking a woman, for basically saying she's the bad guy, I'm the good guy, and then you kill her. That doesn't happen. You find bad men. Men are the leaders. If something evil happened, it's because of men. And you take the evil out through the men. All right, but that's where these stories, these epic stories, all branch out from the Battle of Troy, because so many of the deeper ones, like have y'all ever read Antigone or the Orestia or anything like that, something like that? They're all stories that branch out from Troy, and they become much more convoluted than just good guy, bad guy. It's like there's something that happened, and now we have to argue about it. Where's justice truly in this? And then that was when Plato wrote the Republic, which is all about justice. So here we go. It's not so. I already said that. All right. Yeah, no praise to be had in this victory, even though there's not. What does he say? It's not right. Nephos, however. Even if all that is not right to do, there's no praise in it, no victory really in that.
Be praised, however.
I shall be praised, Tamen. Ladabar. Where is it?
It be pleasing
All the
to
way.
my spirit.
No, it's not a board. I will be praised,
To have
however.
extinguished
There you go. To have extinguished Nephos, the unrighteousness, and to have, and you have some sissa, which is good.
To fill the spirit.
exacted deserving punishment.
There you go. That's very good. And to have, like you said, sumera can mean that. It's like to have taken up, marentes, to have taken up
I will be praised
deserving punishments.
to have extinguished the unrighteousness.
Yeah, that's good. I will be praised to have extinguished unrighteousness, and I will be praised to have taken up, basically, like I said, the role of judge, to have taken up the role of judge, exacting punishments.
Is it I will be praised to have exacted punishments? Or
That's fine. That's fine. That's totally fine. To have taken up, and this is where we get the word merit from, to have like done the duty of, to taken up the doing of the duty of punishing, of punishments.
Wait, so does it make sense if you say kill in that sense? Because it gave us for
Sure.
the next part of that, the first word.
Because that is what he's basically suggesting. This is
Yeah.
this is like what we're talking about, even with like the Druids and stuff. Is like if you're to go and enter back into righteousness, something's got to die. So I would totally let you say that because that's what he's saying.
Because I just said, I will be praised, however, to have executed punishment and killed this impious act.
Right. But if the AP question tells you translate this as literally as possible,
Yeah.
you follow with exactly what the words mean.
Right.
Because that's where the poetry lays out as much as it can breathe.
Yeah.
If you say it what makes sense, it's like, oh, you just turn the poetry into logical sentences. Sometimes that's not what they want you to do because this is a poem. Yeah, that's good though. You're right. You're exactly right. All right, because this is what he says next. And what?
And
Delight.
it will be pleasing to fill my
There
spirit.
you go.
With
So-
avenging flames and ashes.
That's good. It's gonna. So he basically confesses. He's like, all of this that I just talked about would just feel so daggum good. That's really what that line means.
So, and it will be pleased.
It will help. Yeah, it will. Literally, yuabit is like, it will help. It will help my spirit, like my animum. It will help my spirit to have expelled. Yeah.
To
The luck.
expelled the flames and the ashes.
Yeah, it will help to, and this word here actually is like, explasa is like to fill out. To like,
To fill the spirit.
this is the reason why I'm translating. This is just an example of catharsis. Do y'all know what catharsis is? Oh, dude, it's the best. You live for catharsis. You just don't know you do. It's the buildup of the juice. Something's happening for weeks, maybe months, maybe even years. And then finally you have the moment to just like exact the way you've been feeling about it for this whole time. Takes place in like 1 second. And then all the stuff, all the emotions that have been building up in you finally get to lay out in an action of your body.
It's actually crazy to the name for that.
Yeah, this is the Greek word. It literally means to purge your emotions. But you can only do it by taking action. That's why in like all the anonymous, like alcohol, like all the addiction kind of thing, the thing that they actually say is the base of their problem is this belief in their mind and in their spirit and in their body. The only way I'm actually going to be free of this desire is to do the thing. It's just how it's always been. Otherwise, I can't do my life this way. I just have this burning in me. So that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying right here. It would be so helpful if I could just purge it all out. All of my anger, all my anguish before I go and die. If I kill her, I don't care if there's no name in it. It would just feel really good if I did it. All right? But obviously, you guys know. Let's go ahead and let's start translating.
Wait, how does that
Next little
last?
bit. Oh, sorry.
Literally.
Yeah, it will help you a bit to have filled my spirit. This one, satyasa, to have filled my spirit with avenging flame. Ultricus, flamai, and then we have all this stuff right here. All right. And to have satisfied explasa, satyasa, honestly, those are both like kind of, you can translate both of those pretty similarly. And to have satisfied, and this is really interesting, to have satisfied the ashes of mine. So what's he saying there?
But it's not his own ashes.
No. The ashes of mine, and it's
My people.
very good. It's masculine plural of mine. The ashes of my people. Because look at all the reference to people up here: Spartan people, Phrygian people, Trojan, Mycenaean people.
I like how we use it like open-ended.
The what?
I like how we use it like open-ended, so it's not like necessarily people. It could also be like the cities and
Whoa.
and stuff like that.
I didn't think about that at all. That's true, man. The ashes of my. That's true.
It's like whatever he has like near him that he wants.
Yeah, I just assumed it was people, but it's true. It wasn't just even the Trojan city. It was all kinds of neighboring Trojan city-states that the Greeks had been plundering and destroying. That's why the Iliad starts the way it does, is that they had just plundered another city outside of Troy, which followed Priam, and they had just raped a bunch of women there. All right. Man, that's a good point. So here we go. This is the new chunk.
This is 35.
This is lesson 35. Yep.
Okay.
588. We're probably only going to get through, because we got 10 minutes, so yeah, we'll get through a little bit, but that's fine.
Such things I was pondering.
Good. Yeah, I was pondering such things.
I was the vote.
Yeah, I was throwing about in my head. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, weighing my options. Keep going. You guys have gotten good at this.
Such things I was pondering, and it says imperfect passive.
Mm-hmm.
So
For Raybar.
I was pondering, and
Tired?
I was being
Not tired. It comes from Pharaoh Farah.
It's like I was made tired.
That's Fakio.
I was made furious.
I was carrying
I was being carried.
I was made furious.
I was being carried.
by
And this is that root that I've told you guys to keep looking out for. Y'all translated it well last night. By a raging.
mind.
And literally one of the ways you can translate that is insane.
By an
So this is him reflecting on himself. And he can see now that it was insane. Even though he was trying, like Brody said, to justify all these thoughts that he had about all this stuff. That's insane.
Is it like when to me? Is that when or?
Yeah, when to me. Very good, man.
When to me?
Yeah, I was doing all this. I was reflecting on this stuff. When to me.
Jeez. Well, is it talking about like how is like Homer gonna come back or whatever? Yeah, Hector gonna come back and talk to him?
Nope, Hector's done. His message is done. But this is not the last time that something divine is going to come to him.
Isn't it Venus?
There you go. And this is how you know. You see the term right here, alma parens. The nourishing. Alma means nourishing. That's why schools, whenever you graduate, you call them your alma mater, because it brought you up. Education means to be bringing up. So a nourishing mother. And you guys can see there's a lot of delay between that and the reflexive pronoun that it's actually talking about.
When to me?
The nourishing mother herself. That's really what you should think about that. And the reason why it's in the accusative is because she obtulerit herself. When to me, the nourishing mother. Yep, exactly. Offered. It comes from offero, offera obtuli, oblatum. So offered herself. Because ob means to put in front. So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys, okay? He was this close to joining the exact same frame of mind as Achilles' son. An offspring of the man who's been dedicated to be the best warrior hero ever. That's what Achilles' son should do. That's his lineage, is to be a conquering, completely epic hero. He's the one who got to cut the head off the king of Troy. Oh, rah! He's the one who got to kill all of his children. No more Teucrian bloodline. Rah! He's done. Family is wiped clean. The son of Achilles did it. That just fits, doesn't it? And Aeneas was this close to doing something almost of the greatest measure as killing Priam himself. It's like, I'm going to kill the reason for the Trojan War. And he almost did it. He was this close to jumping in and just stabbing her with a spear or something, right in the temple, when all of a sudden the nourishing mother showed herself to me.
Showed herself or offered herself?
Showed herself. Put herself in front of me. So this is where we had a spiritual experience telling Aeneas who he is now and what he's called to be. But we, because we skipped a lot of it. What did he not do? Like, he's still in Troy. Hector came to him and said, get your family and get out right now. He waited. He was like, no, I'm Aeneas. I'm not going to do that. And so for about 100 or so lines, all he saw was destruction, destruction, destruction. And he would try and go help. He'd try and be the hero that he thinks he's supposed to be. And he's about to go and be the hero that he really could be. Take out Helen herself. When all of a sudden, now another one. So here we go. Non anta oculis tam clara.
Wait. Is it?
Sorry.
When to me the nourishing mother showed herself, and then.
Yep, and then non anta.
Not before my eyes.
Yep, not before. Well,
Not very clear.
yeah.
Not very clear.
Not very clear. So this is something I want y'all to see. Is that his eyes right now are mentioned. His eyes don't understand, can't comprehend exactly what's going on.
Is it not very clear to my
Yeah, not very clear. Not before so clear to my eyes.
Not.
All right, so he's starting to, like I'm trying to introduce you guys. He's starting to slowly see what's truly going on here. He's starting to slowly see what's going on here. Not only did she show herself, but she widendam. So say is what?
visible?
Yeah. Appearing. Good.
Appearing.
Mm-hmm.
Appearing.
And then appearing, refulsit. She's what? It comes from refulgeo. I don't want to waste time.
She's shining.
Yeah, she's shining in pura luca,
In pure light.
in pure light per noctem.
Through the night.
And now he's starting to see her really clearly.
So appearing and shining.
Yeah.
In pure light.
Yeah, starting to be seen. Yeah, that's good. And then appearing, shining through the night in pure light And then I just got to make sure I get to this. So let me just give y'all some more so that we get to what she's saying, because this is what I would call, guys, the revelation of Aeneas' story. He was kind of introduced to, he was given a message of what to do, but he once again, he's the reluctant leader. He's a reluctant soldier for these first 6 books of the Aeneid. All right? And he has to get like the gods to literally smack him across the face and be like, listen. All right? And this is what happens. Let me just continue feeding y'all these lines for a second. Confessa deam qualis quo videri, this line right here. So here we go. So she is accustomed, yeah.
She is accustomed.
Mm-hmm. Having revealed the goddess, both having revealed the goddess Deam, both qualis, both just as and as great as, and quanta. Qualis, just as, and as great as, she seems. Wideri. Yeah, so this is just saying, like, this is what Venus does, I guess. But now, here's the thing. Do you guys know what's supposed to happen to you if you, like, see a goddess in its full, like, reality? You die. So this is what's wild about what Aeneas is given here. Huh? He is, so that kind of gives him sort of, through his blood, he has, like, a predisposition.
Isn't that with heaven to the heaven? So they're with heaven.
Yes, seemed to divinities. So that's what I was waiting for. This is how she looked. This is how she is seemed, as it is accustomed to be presented to divinities. So he's seeing her as God sees her. That's this word, kailikolis. I know I like say I'm going to give it to you quickly, and it's like impossible because it's such dense wording.
So she is accustomed, having revealed the goddess, both just as and as great as she seems to the divinity.
Yeah, and of course that's how it reads literally, which is really intense. But the way that you can go ahead and understand it smoothly, Jack, is like this. She was revealed, having been revealed as a goddess, just as and as great as it is accustomed for the divine things to see her. That's really how it goes. That's smooth. That's not grammatically correct how it's given to you, but that's how the poetry can be read once you dig through it a lot. And she restrained me.
With her right hand?
Yeah, she restrained me with her right hand, having been seized. All right, with her right hand having been seized, or she restrained me having been seized by her right hand. And what else did she do? This one just means exactly what it looks like. She added, so she's restraining me physically, and she's talking to me. And in addition, in super, she added hike. Good. She added these things with her roseo aura. And this is just how Aphrodite's known, how Venus is known, with her rosy mouth. Beautiful.
She added what?
She added these words, hike, these things. So she restrained me, and with her rosy, these things in addition, she added with her mouth. That's how it reads literally, left to right, but y'all can smooth it out. All right, and then here we go. I'm just going to read this next little bit for you because I just want y'all to have it in your head. Don't even write it down because I just want y'all to hear it, and then we can talk about it for the last 90 seconds of class. All right, this is how I got it translated. We'll dig into it later.
It's the nate part. We don't have to write it down.
Don't worry about writing it down. I just want to tell you what's going on here. All right. She says, "Son, what so great, nata, there's that word, descendant. What so great a grief arouses uncontrolled rage." Uncontrolled rage. What so great a grief, actually? Why do you rage? Or to where has your care of us as the gods? You're thinking about yourself. All you've talked about recently is just all about these people, all these human kingdoms. You're talking about Mycenae and Sparta and all these things. Why do you just care about those things? Where did your care go for us as the gods, the divinities? And he says this, no sooner will you see where you have left your parent Anchises tired with age, whether your spouse Creusa and the boy Ascanius survive, all whom the Greek battle lines wander around on all sides, and if my care were not opposing, already the flames would have carried them away, and the hated sword would have drained them. So what she just points out to him is basically saying, like, your weak father, like you can barely run, is still alive. Do you see that? Your wife, who has no idea how to survive in action, is somehow still alive. Do you see that? Your son is still alive. Do you not understand that something else is going on here? You're thinking about such tiny little things. Helen of Troy, you think she's so important? This is Virgil commenting on the most greatest stories ever. You think Helen of Troy is that important? Nata, my descendant. Your family is the most important thing, and we are keeping them alive. So I'm going to just spoil it a little bit for a second. She grabs him by the face, and she pulls scales off of his eyes. And he starts to see that it's not the Greeks doing anything. It's the gods. The gods are ripping the walls of Troy down. The gods are setting people's homes on fire. The gods are guiding the hands of all the soldiers of the Greeks and getting rid of all the other Trojans. But he sees that they're actually making a way for him to go and get his family and to go into the wilderness. So he sees the gods, all of them in their real form. And he sees that, and Venus basically spoils it for him. She says, hey, by the way, I know that we had a lot of other issues going on during the War of Troy, but it was all so that you and your family would leave. The reason why the Battle of Troy happened was not for her. It was for you to leave. If Troy had stayed, you would have stayed. We need you to go found the kingdom of heaven. Isn't that crazy? Bonkers, bro. And that's when he's like, okay. And he turns around, he stops trying to be the hero, and he goes and grabs his family. Bonkers, bro. Bonkers, bonkers, bonkers. All right, so we'll finish that later.